What you're about to see was caught on camera. Strange lights drifting over cities, unexplainable creatures moving through the dark, mysterious sounds rising from the ocean, and machines flying where no one knows who sent them. These moments weren't imagined, they were filmed, and to this day, no one can explain them fully. This is a look at some of the most bizarre events ever captured on camera. Let's begin. The Phoenix Lights, a massive silent craft over Arizona. On the night of March 13th, 1997, one of the most famous mass UFO sightings in modern history unfolded across the skies of Arizona. Just after sunset, residents from as far north as Henderson, Nevada, down to Tucson, Arizona, began reporting something strange, a formation of lights, unlike anything they had ever seen. It all started with a single call. A man near Henderson claimed he had seen a massive V-shaped object pass silently overhead. It had 6 lights along its leading edge and moved in an eerie gliding motion. Moments later, other reports flooded in. Families pulled off the road and stared at the sky. Police dispatchers fielded dozens of calls, and home video cameras captured shaky footage of glowing orbs drifting slowly and deliberately across the darkness. Witnesses described different versions of the same event. Some swore it was a single, enormous craft that blotted out the stars as it passed overhead, something bigger than a football field. Others believed it was a collection of separate moving lights in perfect formation. Regardless of the details, one thing was consistent. It moved slowly, silently, and with an almost unnatural grace. As media coverage exploded, pressure grew on the authorities to offer an explanation. The U.S. Air Force eventually stepped in, claiming that the lights were nothing more than flares dropped during a training exercise at Luke Air Force Base. According to them, the flares, suspended by parachutes, would have drifted slowly across the sky before burning out. But not everyone was convinced. Many witnesses insisted that what they saw couldn't have been flares. Flares don't move against the wind. They don't maintain a tight, symmetrical formation for hours across a stretch of hundreds of miles. And they certainly don't create the impression of a solid object passing overhead. Even Arizona's governor at the time, Fife Symington, who initially dismissed the event with jokes during a press conference, later admitted he had seen the lights himself. He described the craft as otherworldly, a term that reignited speculation and drew even more attention to the mystery. Over the years, theories have poured in. Some suggest the lights were a top-secret military craft, perhaps a massive stealth blimp being quietly tested. Others believe it was something far more extraordinary, a massive extraterrestrial craft, casually observing human civilization. Skeptics argue it was the perfect storm of military activity, optical illusions, and mass hysteria. But even today, decades later, the Phoenix Lights still remain one of the most compelling unsolved aerial mysteries in history. No one has ever definitively proven what appeared in the sky that night, and those who witnessed it have never forgotten what they saw. Were the Phoenix Lights simply a misunderstood military exercise? Or was something truly unknown passing silently above us, hidden in plain sight? The mysterious spiral over Norway. On December 9th, 2009, residents of northern Norway witnessed one of the strangest and most breathtaking phenomena ever captured on camera. Just before sunrise, a massive spiral of light appeared in the sky, spinning slowly and perfectly over the snowy landscape. It was unlike anything people had ever seen before. A brilliant blue-white spiral with a darker beam of light shooting from its center, hovering motionless for minutes before vanishing into darkness. Videos quickly surfaced showing the spiral in extraordinary detail. The light seemed almost too perfect, as if drawn in the sky by some unseen hand. The spiral widened, expanded, and rotated steadily, creating an almost hypnotic visual that left thousands in awe and confusion. At first, theories spread wildly. Some believed it was the opening of a wormhole, a portal to another dimension. Others were sure it had to be some sort of massive UFO or alien experiment playing out above the Earth. The sheer size and symmetry of the spiral only fueled the sense that something extraordinary was happening. Hours after the first sightings, the Russian military issued a statement claiming responsibility. They said the spiral was the result of a failed test of a Bulava missile launched from a submarine into the White Sea. According to their explanation, the missile's third stage malfunctioned, causing it to spin uncontrollably and eject fuel in a spiraling pattern, creating the dazzling visual in the sky. While many experts agreed the missile explanation was plausible, not everyone was satisfied. Skeptics pointed out that no similar missile failure had ever produced such a perfectly symmetrical, stable spiral for so long, and the sheer brightness, clarity, and complexity of the pattern seemed beyond anything seen in previous rocket mishaps. Other theories quickly followed. Some believe it was a secret weapon test involving advanced technologies like electromagnetic propulsion. Others speculated that the spiral was tied to the Large Hadron Collider experiments happening at the time, stirring fears about unintended consequences. And, of course, the UFO community saw it as a possible sign, an attempt at communication, or a visual distortion caused by something not of this earth. Even today, the Norway Spiral remains a source of fascination and debate. Was it simply the accidental beauty of a failing missile? Or was it something far stranger, a glimpse into forces and technologies we barely understand? What do you think created the Norway Spiral that morning? An ordinary accident? Or a brief window into something extraordinary? The Fresno Nightcrawlers, strange figures caught on camera. In 2007, a home security camera in Fresno, California captured something strange moving across a quiet front yard in the dead of night. A tall, thin figure, almost skeletal in shape, glided across the lawn with an unnatural floating motion. It had long legs, tiny torso, and no visible arms, their movements smooth and unsettling, like something not meant to walk this earth. The footage quickly went viral. Viewers struggled to make sense of what they were seeing. The figure was pale white, almost glowing against the grainy night vision footage. It didn't run, it didn't stumble. It simply drifted forward, like marionettes on visible strings. Skeptics were quick to offer explanations. Some said it was someone in loose pants walking oddly through the yard. Others claimed it was a puppet or a clever hoax, designed to trick viewers looking for the paranormal. But investigators who visited the site later pointed out that recreating the figure's proportions, especially the impossibly long legs and small torsos, would have been difficult without obvious signs of staging. In 2011, a second piece of footage surfaced from the Yosemite National Park. A security camera meant to catch trespassers captured two similar figures gliding silently across a wooden path. Their movements were nearly identical to the one seen in Fresno. Smooth, deliberate, and unsettling. The fact that two separate videos, taken years apart, seemed to show the same creature only deepened the mystery. Some theories suggest the Nightcrawlers are cryptids, a new, undiscovered species living in isolated parts of California. Others believe they could be extraterrestrial scouts, sent to observe without interacting. There's even a theory that they might be spiritual entities, their strange appearance and behavior fitting old Native American legends about walking spirits tied to the land. Skeptics still argue that the videos are simply hoaxes, clever special effects pulled off with puppets or editing tricks. But to this day, no one has conclusively proven how either video was faked, and no one has captured anything quite like them again. The Fresno Nightcrawlers remain one of the most bizarre and unsettling creatures ever caught on camera. Were the Nightcrawlers real visitors? Something natural, supernatural, or extraterrestrial? Or was it simply one of the best executed mysteries of the internet age? The Black Knight Satellite, alien probe, or space junk? High above the Earth, orbiting silently in the darkness, a strange object has captured imaginations for decades. They call it the Black Knight Satellite, a mysterious dark mass that some believe could be an ancient alien probe, quietly watching humanity. The story of the Black Knight stretches back almost a century. In the late 1800s, inventor Nikola Tesla claimed to have detected strange repeating radio signals, something he believed might have come from beyond Earth. Fast forward to the 1950s, when American and Soviet forces, deep in the Cold War, began picking up unexplained objects in orbit, long before either side had launched large numbers of satellites. Newspapers even reported the discovery of an unidentified dark satellite circling the planet, confusing military officials and scientists alike. But the legend truly exploded in 1998 when NASA released photographs taken during the STS-88 space shuttle mission. In several of the images, a strange dark object floats high above the Earth's atmosphere. It looks jagged, asymmetrical, and alien, nothing like the polished satellites we normally see. To some, it was undeniable proof that something ancient and unknown was orbiting our planet. NASA offered a simple explanation. They claimed the object was just a piece of space debris, specifically a thermal blanket that had come loose during the shuttle's assembly of a satellite. According to them, the unusual shape and lighting created the illusion of something far more mysterious. But not everyone was convinced. Many pointed out that the object seemed far too large and strangely structured to be just one piece of loose material. Others argued that Tesla's early radio signals, strange orbital readings from the 1950s, and the STS-88 photos all pointed towards a much older presence in our skies, something humanity had overlooked or perhaps chosen to ignore. Theories about the Black Knight vary wildly. Some believe it's an alien observation post, quietly monitoring Earth's development across the centuries. Others think it could be a relic from a long-lost advanced civilization, maybe even remnants from before human history as we know it. Of course, skeptics still insist it's nothing more than debris and a series of coincidences stitched into legend. Still, when you look up at the night sky and think about what might be drifting silently overhead, it's not hard to wonder. Is the Black Knight satellite just another piece of space junk? Or is it proof that we've never really been alone? The Gable Film, the mysterious Dogman encounter. In the early 2000s, a strange piece of old home video surfaced online, a grainy reel of footage that would quickly become one of the most chilling alleged cryptid encounters ever caught on tape. It has become known as the Gable Film, and what it seems to capture has haunted viewers ever since. The footage looks innocent at first. It's clearly from the late 1970s or early 1980s, shot with an old 8mm film camera. It shows a family enjoying a day in the woods, chopping wood, riding snowmobiles, laughing together. It feels genuine, a simple glimpse into someone else's personal life. But as the film continues, a sense of unease begins to creep in. Towards the end of the footage, the camera operator turns and spots something in the distance, something moving fast across an open landscape. At first, it's hard to make out, just a blur of dark fur and powerful limbs. As the cameraman adjusts his focus, the figure becomes clearer, a large, hunched creature walking on all fours but built unlike any animal native to Michigan. It moves fast, almost predatory. And just as the cameraman seems to realize what he's seeing, the footage violently cuts out. For years, people speculated wildly about the film's authenticity. Some believed it captured the elusive Dogman, a creature said to roam the forest of the Midwest, standing taller than a man with the body of a wolf and the intelligence of a predator. The Dogman legend had existed long before the internet, with sightings reported back as far as the 1800s. To believers, the Gable Film was undeniable proof that the creature wasn't just a myth. Skeptics, however, had other ideas. Some pointed out inconsistencies in the film stock, clothing styles, and even the behavior of the creature itself. Eventually, it was revealed that the Gable Film had been a part of an elaborate hoax created by a filmmaker who loved local legends. The creature was, in fact, a man in a carefully crafted costume. An entire film was shot with vintage equipment to mimic the look of an old home movie. But even after the hoax was exposed, the Gable film still lingers in the minds of many. Because if someone could recreate such a convincing encounter, it raises another question. How many so-called hoaxes might actually be real, dismissed before they could even be believed? Could the Dogman legend have some truth hiding behind the layers of folklore and fabrication? Or was the Gable film simply a brilliant work of fiction, one that came a little too close to feeling real?